We are going to get started. Again, it's really great to see all of our familiar parents signing in. This is specially done just for our fifth grade parents, so welcome. Thanks for spending the time with us today. We are going to take you on a little bit of a middle school tour virtually and hope we answer as many questions as we can. Noelle, I'm going to let you start just so that you can talk about our translation services that are available for today's presentation.
Buenos días, padres. Good morning, everyone. Tenemos una línea para traducir simultáneamente. En la parte derecha de su pantalla dice llame al número 605-468-8788. De inmediato marque el código 658-6977 y lo estaré esperando. Gracias. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Noelle. Edward, if you could pop that information into the chat and maybe like every 5 minutes for the beginning of the presentation, just in case families sign on late. Okay, without further ado, welcome fifth grade families. We're so excited to have you here with us. Thank you for taking the time to hear more about our middle school. It's been an honor having your children spend their elementary years with us, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with you in our middle school. This is the next chapter for your child, and we hope today's presentation answers questions you may have and allows you to see the wonderful programming available as your child transitions into the middle school years. We will record today's presentation and share with all the fifth grade families, so please let anyone know who wasn't able to be here today. They will not miss out on today's information. We will share that with them. Please remain muted during the presentation. Hold all questions until the end, where we will have a Q&A session just for you. And without further ado, let's get started. Next slide, please. Okay, I'd like to take a moment and have each member of our middle school administration team introduce themselves. You'll notice that a few of us actually spend time in both our elementary and our middle school buildings. This ensures that we're creating a seamless transition as we aim to strive for a cohesive Academy of the City experience for both students and families. My name is Katie Lynn Santa Cruz. You've known me as the elementary school principal for many years. You've also known me as transitioning to middle school last year, and for this year, I am head of school and overseeing both schools and ensuring that both our elementary and middle school really represent the mission and vision of our great school and give your children the best experience possible. I love spending my time at Academy of the City. My own oldest child is now going to Academy of the City. I love what this school has to offer, and I'm so thankful for each one of you families for being a part of our journey and for being with us over the years. Next, Ms. McCurchin.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Ms. McCurchin. I am the Senior Assistant Principal here at AoC, and I look forward to seeing you all in person soon to have a wonderful tour with us. And I'm going to pass it to Ms. Whitty.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nora Whitty. I am the middle school assistant principal, my 4th year at Academy of the City, and really looking forward to meeting you all in person and excited to have you here with us today. And I'm going to pass it to Mr. K.
Hi, everybody. You see my real name now, but it's Mr. K. I hope you guys didn't forget me. I miss everybody, but I love it here, and I hope to see you guys over here real soon. I'm the Dean of School Culture, by the way. Sorry about that.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Carrie Fabrizi. A lot of you know me from the elementary school. This year, I'm sharing my time at the elementary school and the middle school as the Director of Student Support, overseeing all of our special education, ESL, and at-risk programs in both schools, which is very exciting. And some of you already know that I'm a parent at Academy of the City as well. My son is in 6th grade, and my older son graduated from Academy of the City 2 years ago. So very excited to be a part of our school from both perspectives. Passing it over to Mr. Quinn.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rory Quinn. I'm the Director of School Operations. This is my 5th year with Academy of the City. I'm charged with overseeing both operations teams at both the elementary and middle school. Previous to this role, I was the operations director at the elementary school. I'm looking forward to sharing what our middle school has to offer you guys. Next, I'll pass it to Mr. Noel Peguero, our family coordinator.
Good morning, everyone. So you guys know me. My name is Noel. I am the family coordinator for both school. I'm being Academy of the City since I was young. I'm 50 right now. My son Joshua was the first kindergarten generation at Academy of the City. He's in college right now. Isaac, who's the second one, he's in 9th grade. And my little one, the princess, she's right here in Academy of the City in 3rd grade. And my wife, she is a first grade teacher. So the whole family is here. So I'm here to serve you. Anything you need, I'm gonna be here for you 24 hours. Dennis, I think.
Yep, and so I'm going to introduce Dennis Schroeder. He couldn't be here today. He is our IT manager. Some of you remember him from the elementary school in years past too. He spends most of his time at the middle school and making sure that all of our tech needs in both schools stay up and running. We could not do it without him. All right, next slide, please. Maury?
Yeah, I just want to take a moment to highlight on the map where we are. Our location, our address is 2340 Astoria Boulevard, and that's Astoria. What that means to you is we're on Astoria Boulevard South, and the cross street is Crescent Street. We're a few blocks away from Astoria Park, and we're located in a similar complex. It's to the Mount Carmel Church.
Okay, next slide, please. If you've been with us, which you have for many years, you know our mission and vision is very dear to us. It reflects in everything we do, the decisions we make, and how we really create our school. And so I'm not going to read that for you because you've heard me say it before. I'm just going to talk a little bit more about it. At our core, we're committed to providing a rigorous student-centered education that equips every child with the skills, values, and tools they need to succeed at the highest levels. This becomes even more important at the middle school as they start transitioning and preparing for high school and college and years beyond. Success to us isn't just about academic achievement, it's about fostering resilience, critical thinking, and joy in learning. We want to prepare our students not only for school, but for a full future of opportunity, creativity, and leadership. We're also deeply committed to being an inclusive and equitable community. Every child, regardless of background, deserves the support they need to reach their full potential. We work hard every day to ensure that every student feels valued, respected, and empowered to succeed. This is so important in the middle school years because, as you know, as your child is getting older, they are forming their true identities. Above all, we believe that education should be joyful. When children feel safe, supported, and excited to learn, they're more likely to take risks, ask questions, and grow into confident, compassionate individuals. Next slide, please. This is one of my favorite slides. While our presentation today will provide an overview of our programming at the middle school, we'd love to share a short video made by our students in the middle school that captures the experience and joys of a middle school student at Academy of the City. Edward, whenever you're ready, you can start playing.
Welcome to AoC Middle School here in Astoria, where we serve grades 6 through 8. I'm an AoC student. Of course I use my Yonder pouch and not my phone.
I'm an AoC student. Of course I put my stuff in my locker.
I'm an AoC student. Of course we learn how to play instruments.
Soy un estudiante de AoC. Claro que tenemos deportes.
I'm an AoC alumni. Of course, AoC prepared me for high school at an exclusive boarding school.
Academy of the City, a place where all children reach their full potential.
Okay, thank you, Edward. So that's just a small peek into life at AoC. A lot of pride and joy our students have on a daily basis. I'm going to turn this over to Nora, Miss Whitty, and we're going to start taking you on a walk through the model of the school, academics, extracurriculars. Take it away, Miss Whitty.
Thank you so much, Ms. Santa Cruz. So we wanted to share a little bit of how our school model works at the middle school to get a sense of what you as families and students can be prepared for. So our class sizes are generally around 27 to 28 students with a max of 30, and students are grouped into cohorts. We have 3 different cohorts that travel around the building from class to class. So something that's different from elementary school as students move on to middle school is instead of staying with one teacher for the duration of the day, they'll move around to each class to have different teachers for every subject that they see. It's a big transition, but we make sure to build in lots of practice time so students can feel comfortable moving around the building and visiting different teachers throughout their day. Next slide, please, Edward.
Similar to the elementary school, we take safety very, very seriously here. It's really one of our fundamental priorities. Without a safe environment, learning can't happen. And so we really take that to heart. To that effect, we have a lot of security cameras throughout the building, 47 to be exact, and they're stationed all around the property so that we can see a lot of different things happening and make sure that any threats or any that students are safe. We also employ an on-site security guard at the front door. The front door is locked and the security guard buzzes in everyone and has them sign in. So we really keep a track of kids going in and out of the building and any people coming in and out of the building. We also have a certified Department of Health nurse on staff for any medical issues that arise. We also have CPR and AED trained staff and conduct drills, both evacuation and other safety drills throughout the course of the year to make sure that if we do need to do an evacuation, the school is ready and prepared. Finally, because middle school is a little bit more autonomy, as you'll learn in the slides, we do have some systems here, some advanced health and safety monitoring systems that are different than we have at the elementary school. And it's really just to sort of help provide safety as the kids transition themselves between classes, which you'll learn more about.
Thanks, Rory, for sharing that. I'm going to give everyone a brief guide into our curriculum at the middle school. So the classes we offer our core classes such as ELA, math, science, social studies. We also offer high school courses such as Algebra 1, life science, and Spanish, along with art, music, health, academic enrichment, and student success. One thing you'll notice at the middle school also is we've increased our ELA and math minutes to support our student learning in those core content areas. So students actually have it 6 times a week for 45-minute periods as opposed to 5. Students also participate in the Algebra 1, Life Science, and World Language exam, Regents exam. So it gets them a head start in high school. So if anyone is interested in their kids having a head start there, this would be the great spot for you. We also have science fairs and project-based learning here. And I'm going to pass it to Ms. Fabrizi. Next slide, please.
So similar to our elementary school, we also have a learning lab at the middle school where we're able to offer a tremendous amount of academic support to our students. At the middle school, we offer our SETS program, ICT in certain grades, ESL services, occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech, bilingual speech, and counseling as well. All of our special education and ESL teachers are certified and have a great deal of experience teaching students. We hold annual IEP meetings similar to the way we do at elementary school. We keep the families updated on student progress and providers monitor their goals throughout the year. We also offer at-risk support for students who do not have an IEP, but do need some extra support in ELA. They meet with a learning specialist 2 to 3 times a week to offer the support that they need. So if you have any questions about our programs, or if your child has an IEP and you'd like some more information, please feel free to reach out to me and we can meet to discuss. Next slide, please.
Something really exciting that we offer at the middle school is a class that we call Student Success Seminar. It's basically the middle school version of a morning meeting and community building time, where each day students get an opportunity with one of our counselors or social workers, in addition to a teacher who teach the class together to really build schools that all middle schoolers need in terms of their social emotional development, all of their executive functioning skills. How are they staying organized as a middle schooler? Are they planning appropriately? Are they advocating for themselves? So each month there's a new topic that's covered to really help them, not just in middle school, but in beyond. So some of the topics that you'll see covered are identity, leadership skills, study skills, time management, and some motivation strategies, to name a few. And it really is a time for students to come together with support from teachers to really build and foster that community that is needed within the middle school classroom. In sixth grade, it looks a little bit different because we want to be really mindful about the adjustment that students are making from fifth to sixth grade. So that includes ample time to practice opening a locker, closing a locker, organizing materials, thinking about what you need from class to class, cleaning out notebooks, so that students are really set up for success from the start of that school year all the way and beyond. And as each grade develops, by the end of eighth grade, students spend some time in this particular class working on some financial literacy independence, understanding a budget, and some working paper support as well. Next slide, please. In addition to our Student Success Seminar, another unique program opportunity that we offer is our High School Readiness Program. This program really begins for students at the end of seventh grade and through eighth grade as well. And it really is our way of supporting families and students with the high school application process. So students and families get an opportunity to meet with us one-on-one or in small groups to select their 12 schools, as well as pursue opportunities within those screen schools, Catholic schools, private schools, and boarding schools. We offer Shazat Prep, which is for the screen schools, Tax Prep, which is for Catholic, and really make sure that within our school day, there's ample time to support students with any requirement that's needed right now in order to submit their application. So I won't go through the list, but you'll just see on the other side some of the schools that our students were accepted to last year, which is some of the top schools around the city. Next slide, please. And I have some students who can explain it better than I can. So whenever you're ready, Edward.
Here at Academy of the City School, our students go on to the best high schools in the city.
How do we do it?
It doesn't just happen.
We have the
High School Readiness Program. Our High School Readiness Program director works closely with us and our parents.
So by the end of 7th grade, we have a pretty good idea of the high schools we want to apply to.
And when we come back in 8th grade, the High School Readiness Program gets us going with our applications immediately.
It helps us with test prep
and with organizing our work for screen schools.
Students applying to art schools get help with their auditions and portfolios.
And we're giving time during the day to get some of those essays for screen schools done.
Every single family gets an individualized meeting with a counselor to ensure that the list is finalized and that everyone is happy.
We learn about specialized high schools such as Stuyvesant, Bronx Science, and Brooklyn Tech.
And screen schools such as Towson Harris, Bard, and Beacon.
Catholic schools like McClancy, Archbishop Malloy, and St. John's Prep. We learn about all these schools, more including private schools.
And boarding schools.
Where the sponsor will get a scholarship to attend.
So come to AoC.
Take part in the High School Readiness Program.
And everything else that this amazing school has to offer.
Thank you so much, Edward. So just a little bit of statistics from our graduating class from last year that you'll see that 50% were admitted to their first choice high school, which is really exciting. That 70% were admitted to their top 3 choice. 30% were those screen schools. Again, some grades dependent upon that. 20% were admitted to the top traditional high schools. 12% were admitted to Bard Early College High School, which is a great school in all boroughs now. And 18% were admitted to our arts high school. So that includes Frank Sinatra for drama or music, art and design for portfolio and visual arts, and our High School of Fashion Industries. It's a really exciting program that's just continuing to build. Next slide, please.
Here at Academy of the
Hi, everybody. It's Mr. It's Mr. K. I wanted to talk about uniforms a little bit. I know everyone is familiar with being a part of the AoC family at the elementary school, but just a little more, I want to talk a little more about why we have uniforms. First off, uniforms are mandatory, any solid color polo, navy or black pants, navy or black sweater, shoes, boots, sneakers, no Crocs, flip-flops, or fuzzy slippers. Please visit the online store. You can purchase patches at any of our buildings for $2. So, uniforms. Uniforms help level the playing field by reducing visible differences in clothing and allowing students to focus on what truly matters, learning. They help eliminate peer pressure related to fashion, brand names, who's wearing what, are you wearing this, are you wearing that, or socioeconomic status, creating a more equitable and inclusive environment for all. As we do in our elementary school, we allow students to choose their polo color to allow for uniqueness and identity to shine. Wearing a uniform helps students feel a sense of belonging and pride in their school. It reinforces the idea that they are part of a community working toward a common goal, academic success and personal growth. Next slide, please. Oh, wait, hold on. It's me again. Cell phones. Yes, cell phones. Cell phone free learning environment. Students secure their phones in a personally assigned pouch when they arrive at school. It improves social behaviors, helps students fully engage, and helps to prevent bullying, which is very important. Supports a distraction-free learning environment. So, they will secure their phones in a pouch. Cell phones will remain in the pouch upon arrival until dismissal. Students will maintain possession of their phones and will not use them until their pouches are opened at the end of the school day. If they need to use the phone and call you if there's an emergency, they can always go to the main office and make a call or take a call. Students are required to bring their pouch to and from school each day and are responsible for their pouch at all times. Like I said, if they need to communicate, they can. This system will help to improve social behaviors, and we want our students to fully engage with their teachers and classmates. Thank you. Next slide, please. Middle school sports.
Hopefully the traffic behind me is not going to be too disruptive. We have honking outside. Okay, we have been steadily growing our sports program in our middle school very quickly over the last couple of years. We're adding new sports each year. This year, we are proud to be offering basketball, volleyball, intramural soccer, cheerleading, and esports. We do believe that sports are essential for developing well-rounded students, particularly in the middle school years. Sports keep students active, it improves their health, energy, and overall well-being. I'm sure that most of you know as they're getting older, hanging out and being on their phones is definitely more of a challenge in trying to sway them to do other things. So let sports be the answer. It allows students to improve and foster time management skills. Beyond the athletics, our sports team helps students build friendships, communicate effectively, and feel a sense of community. Something new that we're piloting this year, too, is an extra help support program for our athletes. They're able to come in the mornings and work on catching up on assignments and working with their coaches on ensuring that they're keeping up with their academics as well. And we continue to look forward to keep adding more sports to our program each year. Next slide, please. Ms. Fabrizi.
So in addition to our rigorous curriculum, we also love to bring some school spirit and fun activities for our middle schoolers. Our students get to experience field trips, spirit weeks, clubs, and they have daily recess time as well. They also have school dances, festivals, and sometimes even movie nights after school hours. Both the students and the staff love to partake in these special events. It really brings some joy to everybody around. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Ms. Fabrizi, for sharing that. Just have a look at our bell schedule. So you'll notice on the left side, the full day schedule. So we open doors for students at 8:15. So that includes their breakfast, going to their lockers, getting whatever belongings they need. However, we also open the doors at 8 o'clock for anyone who wants to come a little early, catch up on homework, or eat breakfast a little earlier. But the arrival time for students is 8:15 to 8:30. And then you'll notice periods 1 through 8, they're all 45-minute periods. And you'll see fourth period would be sixth grade lunch. So they would have their lunch from 10:57 to 11:42, along with seventh the following period and eighth grade the following period as well. You'll see at the bottom, student dismissal starts at 2:57. So what that means is that we're beginning our process of dismissal. So we're organizing our bus students, we're organizing anybody that needs to be picked up or anyone that's being self-dismissed. So that will fully end at 3:15. So that's when our school doors close. So just make sure 2:57 to 3:15 is your window for dismissal. And on the right-hand side, you'll notice the half-day schedule. The doors open at the same time. So arrival is 8:15 to 8:30, but our periods are shorter because we don't have a lunch period. So all our periods are 20 minutes, and then students have dismissal beginning at 11:34. However, we do have grab-and-go lunch for our kiddos. So if anybody wants to grab lunch before they leave, they're always welcome to do that. Next slide, please. I'm going to pass it to Mr. Quinn.
Perfect segue into a little bit of the transportation and after-school programs. So as Ms. McCurchin said, the school doors open at 8:15 to 8:30. For morning arrival, there's a couple different options. And this is a little bit of a shift. In sixth grade, there's busing still. Students can qualify for busing. That's the last grade that busing is offered to students. So after that, seventh and eighth graders, it would be parent or student drop-off. Students can transition themselves to school, and we have students that do that by taking public transit or taking cabs or parents dropping them off. So that's the arrival process. Dismissal process is the reverse of that. We do have, again, sixth grade busing. We will collect the kids. It's similar to what happens in the elementary school. We collect the kids, we get them on the bus, and send them on their way. Some parents do like to pick their kids up, and so we do dismiss them out to their parents. And then some students do transition themselves home by themselves, again, using public transit or taking various other forms of transportation. We also offer an after-school program at the middle school. It's for an additional fee, and it runs right after pickup. The kids would be picked up by the after-school program, and then it dismisses around 6 o'clock. Next slide, please. This is just sort of a refresher. If you've all been here, you probably know this, so I'm going to go through it relatively quickly, but there's various ways of communication. These are the same processes that happens at the elementary school, but the phone, this is our phone number. You can call us at the main office at the middle school. We have a middle school email. So there's an elementary school email for the elementary operations and a middle school email. So if you're looking to get a hold of the middle school team, you would send it to the MS operations. You'll also, when your students are assigned teachers, you'll get your student teacher emails so that you can always reach out to them. You can schedule meetings with administrators or with staff members or teachers. We do ask you schedule them in advance. Again, they're managing and dealing with kids on a daily basis. And if you come in for a meeting and it's an unplanned meeting, they may not be able to meet with you because they are teaching. But you can always schedule those in advance. Additionally, we have parent-teacher conferences in November and in March. So this is very similar to the ES. We also send out the newsletter and email blasts. The students will have Google Classrooms based on their teachers when they're assigned teachers. And progress reports and report cards go out as well. Finally, we post everything on the website. That's the reason we're recording this. This will be posted on the website. We have really bolstered up our communication through social media as well. So we're really trying to make sure that that's accessible to all families. We have an Instagram where we post things, and we have a Facebook where we post things as well. So these are just some of the sort of the ways that we communicate with families. And again, this may be very similar to you because we're trying to keep it, this is very closely aligned to both locations as possible. Next slide, please.
Okay, Before I get into how we're preparing your children right now for middle school, I just also want to add that in middle school, you have access to Power School and the online grade book. So you'll know every time an assignment or a test is posted, which is a little bit different than the elementary school, just because there's more data available in the middle school years. Okay, so what are we doing for our fifth graders right now, your children who are in fifth grade at our school, to prepare them for this big transition? First, as a student of Academy of the City, they are automatically enrolled for sixth grade with us unless you tell us otherwise. That's one less thing for you to worry about, and we're thrilled to continue this journey with them as they move up into middle school. One of the biggest changes is that sixth graders get their own lockers. This is exciting, but it also requires some preparation. Lockers are a great way for our students to get organized, take responsibility for their belongings. We'll be showing students, and we're doing that right now, how to use a combination lock, how to organize their materials, and how to keep their space neat and tidy. None of that where you open the locker and everything falls out on them. With teacher support right now in fifth grade, we make this transition easy and build confidence. Many of you know that middle school means transitioning to your own classes, as mentioned before. This can feel overwhelming for new sixth graders. So we practice in fifth grade. Beginning in January, teachers allow students to transition themselves to lunch and recess, and sometimes to certain specials, with teacher checkpoints around the building for monitoring and coaching. Students are asked to take more ownership of their learning now in fifth grade. They are asked to stay a little bit more organized on their own. They manage more complex assignments. And you'll notice in fifth grade, teachers working with them on different tools and strategies to plan out assignments, plan out their study schedules, and really learn to self-advocate for themselves when they're having difficulty in a certain area of their school life. Lastly, we also plan a fifth grade trip for all of our fifth graders with their teachers to come visit the middle school, where we take them on a tour of the middle school building. They get their own information session and Q&A, just like you're getting right now. And we allow them to meet the middle school teachers and take a peek into what they would be learning with those teachers. This will take place this year on January 17th. And because it's our field trip that we're organizing, this will be at no cost to families. Next slide, please.
As Katie Lynn just mentioned, you guys are already pre-enrolled for sixth grade if you choose to come this way. So this is a little bit of a mute point for you, but we wanted to put it up there in case you had friends or families who are looking for middle schools. Our application process is open for middle school right now. There are 3 different ways to apply to middle school. There's the Power School application, which is a link. That's the preferred way. There's also a downloadable paper. You can always drop the paper application off. And then Schoolmint, which is the common application throughout the city. So those are the 3 ways. Again, this doesn't really apply to anybody on this call because if you're already enrolled in the school, you are automatically have a seat for next year in sixth grade. Unless you tell us otherwise. But again, we wanted to put this up in case you have friends or family or other people who are interested in it. These are the 3 ways. Next slide, please.
Okay, so we're at the end of our presentation. It's been a pleasure having you listen more about our middle school, and we're going to take questions in just a minute, but I do want to really promote your ability to come in for a school tour. I want to share our tour dates, which are listed on this screen, and we're going to send these to you by email. They're available for all of our fifth grade families, and these are small, intimate tours. We're not really going to register more than about 6 families at one time, because we'd love for you to come visit the school, and we will tour you around the school during the school day so you can really have a sense of what the school day actually looks like. If you would like to bring your child, you are more than welcome to. It would not count as an absence on our part because you are coming to see our other school. So you can scan this and register for the below tour dates. If you're not ready to schedule today, we're going to send this to you, no worries. But I really do encourage you to come see the school for yourself as well. Okay, now that we are ready for our Q&A, next slide. We're going to take this down in a minute. As always, if you have additional questions beyond today's presentation, always feel free to reach out to not ES operations this time, but MS operations. They are more than ready and willing to answer any additional questions you have or guide you to someone who can answer a question that they may not be able to. Again, I want to thank you for your time for listening to us present about the middle school, but I would like to transition this over to a Q&A. So if you do have a question, you can feel free to drop it in the chat. Mr. Rivera is on the call with us. He's our communications manager. He will read the questions, or you can raise your hand if you feel more comfortable asking a question that way.
Great. So we have our first question. Does the middle school have a cafeteria and a gym?
Great question. We have a full-size cafeteria that students are able to sit in and have their lunch. We also use school foods here at the middle school, just like we do at the elementary school. We do not have a gym on site, but let me tell you about what we do instead. We have Astoria Park very close by, and so we utilize the different courts as much as we can weather-wise. So they walk with their gym teacher and a teaching assistant to Astoria Park. There is basketball courts, tennis courts, you name it. They do track running. They really try to get out in the fresh air during gym time as much as possible. And then when we do not have the ability to be outside, we also rent a large room at Astoria Manor, which is just a couple of feet down the block, where they're able to play some more indoor sports as well.
All right. Does the middle school provide early drop-off?
So Ms. McCurchin, I'm going to have you just talk a little bit more about that because you briefly discussed it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say yes and no in the sense the doors technically are supposed to open for student arrival at 8:15. However, we open the doors at 8 o'clock for anyone that wants to come in at that time. We don't have anything before 8 o'clock at this time.
All right. I'm interested in options for advanced learners. If a student is ahead of the class, can they opt to move ahead in math and ELA? It's important for students to get ahead if they can to prepare for New York City High School. What options are there?
Great question. And I'm going to start, but Ms. Whitty and Ms. McCurchin or Ms. Fabrizi, feel free to add on. So we were noticing that as well, especially last year when I joined the school. So we have created an enrichment class period. So this is a period within the schedule that students who need different services receive their services. Other students who are a little bit more advanced and need a little bit more challenges, this is where teachers can really work with those groups of students and expand on the curriculum that they're learning or actually move on to further lessons and learning in each academic area. And so that is a way that we have created a space within their weekly schedule to ensure that we're actually meeting all different learners' needs. But Ms. Whitty, Ms. McCurchin, Ms. Fabrizi, feel free to add on to that.
I think you nailed it on the head, Ms. Santa Cruz. I'll also say that it's really important just logistically for students to have their consistent year of school completed because high schools look at their year. So like if a student, let's say, I don't know, performs exceptionally well and skips 7th and goes to 8th grade, let's say, which doesn't really happen here, but high schools are looking at their 7th grade report card. So if they don't see 7th grade grades in their transcript, it poses a problem and a challenge for students to actually apply to high school. So we do challenge them, like Ms. Santa Cruz said, throughout their classes, throughout their day, throughout the week. They have different ways to differentiate instruction for students to progress and those who are higher performing to have academic challenge throughout the day. But that's the most that I can say about that for now. I don't know if Ms. Whitty or Ms. Fabrizi, if there's anything I'm missing, you can feel free to add.
I think the only thing I would just add on is we're cognizant of that in our scheduling for 8th graders as well, which is why we are offering Regents exams for algebra and what is now life science biology, as they've done away with the living environment Regents. And that only not provides that opportunity for students to be challenged, but then when they go on to high school, our students have the opportunity to have that Regents exam already done and placed into the next math and science when appropriate. And select students also participate in the SLP, which is the Spanish language proficiency, very similarly, so that if they've mastered that content, they can move on to the next level in Spanish in high school.
Spanish classes are on a level like kids that already speak Spanish can move to more specialized classes for writing and reading.
So Ms. Whitty, I'm going to add to this, but you can also add on just because of the SLP regions. So in Spanish, we have one Spanish teacher. She meets with all the classes throughout the entire middle school. But what she does a great job is offering basically about two different types of lessons within one lesson period. One is for advanced learners and one is for still beginning students. And so she will shape those lessons around the different student needs, but they will be within the same class period time. And the SLP is dedicated to students who are prepared to take that exam. So it becomes an option for families with their child to decide if they are ready or not to take it. And Ms. Whitty, if you want to add anything?
Yeah, I would just add that upon completion of that exam and taking it, it not only advances students who are ready for that in high school, but in order to graduate high school, you need a certain amount of years of credits of Spanish or any language that a student takes. And by passing that exam, it gives you that year already. So Ms. Peely gears students up who are ready and prepared for that exam so that they can pass and then get that credit towards high school.
Are kids required to enroll in a sport?
No, that is optional, and we do have tryouts when there is more interest than available spots, but you do not have to be in a sport to be at Academy of the City. Other things that we have going on right now this year is we have chorus. So one time a week, students during their independent period are able to join the chorus group with Mr. Prezano. We have students who work on, this is mostly 8th grade right now, who have time throughout their schedule to work with Miss Grace on portfolio art pieces. And then we also, if you're in the after-school program, they also have a drama program within their after-school program. So there's a lot of different opportunities for students to really expand their interests. And we're constantly looking for additional programs to add within our school. And our students are really our guide for that. They will write us letters of a different program that they would like to see happen. And so one of the new programs that they were really pushing and convincing us for safely, of course, is a kickboxing class. And so the PE teacher worked with designing a kickboxing course for them. Very safely though, but our students really drive the different programs that we have included in our school. It's one of the reasons we actually added cheerleading. Students wrote a petition and we were able to coordinate and get a cheerleading program up and running really quickly within the school day, which was not the original plan for the school year. So we really take student choice and student voice very seriously in designing the programs.
How do you address students' social emotional issues such as cyberbullying?
Yep. I can talk, but Miss Whitty, you can go for this one.
Perfect. So that's a really great question and something that we're really cognizant of and address very quickly in the beginning of the school year for all grades. The first starting touch point for that is Student Success Seminar, which really provides kind of the guidelines of appropriate friendships, appropriate relationships, boundaries, what is considered bullying, cyberbullying, and really making students aware of their presence in social media and how that impacts them, not just on their phone, but in the context of the school building and beyond. So we really strive to have that message hit whole school for every student. And then students that kind of need a little bit more support with that, whether an incident might occur or they just maybe need information repeated, one of our counselors or social workers is always present and does either small groups or individual sessions kind of hitting on that. At times when appropriate, our counselors will hold lunch groups where really they're focused on a particular topic and they spend time with a small group of students kind of working through some of that together as well, so that having really clear, positive relationships is embedded in their school day and outside as well.
And I'm going to add on to that, just because this is a very serious topic and something that we do see from time to time. And actually a couple of things that we do is if we are aware of a situation, whether we've been notified by students, and we really do advocate for students to be upstanders and really share with us when they notice something really bad is happening online that isn't happening during the school day, but happening outside of school, to share with us. And then we do launch full investigations and talk to the different students, contact the families, and try to end it as quickly as possible. It is something to be prepared for in middle school, in any school, because this is the time where more students are accessing social media. I also recommend that you start this conversation now if you haven't. We find that the families who have the most success with avoiding cyberbullying is students who have really good connections with their families. Talk about the different sites that they are on, really have them share as much information with you about what they're seeing and posting. If they feel comfortable going to you as a partnership, we're able to stop these things from happening before they get out of hand too fast. And so we do rely on families to share, we rely on students to share, but our aim is to end it as soon as possible and do damage repair or social emotional counseling wherever it is needed. Monitor your children online. Where we see that this does not work is when a family is not engaged in their child's online social media accounts. That's where things can get a little bit more serious, but our response time is very quick, and we've handled different situations very successfully over the year. So keep tabs on the environment. And I will say that in elementary school, children go home more and tell you what's happening. We hope. It's more apparent in elementary. When they get to middle school, the change in their development will have them withholding information more. And so we help to bridge that gap. You will likely hear from the teachers and the administrators in middle school even more than you did in elementary school, because we feel that it's very important for you to know what's going on. So we will make calls. You will know what's happening, especially because they're normally going home, not telling you as much as they used to. It's part of that developmental change. So we help bridge that gap.
And just another quick add-on to Miss Santa Cruz and Miss Whitty, the Yonder pouch makes a huge difference. I started here and there was no Yonder pouch, and we did have a lot of issues going on cyber-wise with students and the way they were speaking to one another, but that has significantly decreased throughout the years since we got the Yonder pouch. There's very rarely something happening within the school day because they have no access to their technology. So it really does make a difference to promote and encourage to socialize appropriately with one another.
One last thing, you will hear from me often. I am always available all the time. Email, call, whatever it is. If something's happening, something's going on, you will hear from me. Believe me, I am here all the time. I'm always around, just so you know that.
Okay, I have a question in the chat, Edward, that I will answer. A few questions around after school. So who provides the after school program? Actually, one of our teachers at the middle school runs our after school program. It's called Cali Center. It's run by Miss Lisa Bourien. She was actually a teacher at the elementary school a few years ago, and she's been at the middle school now for a couple of years, and she runs our after school program. It does have a fee. It is a smaller program because at this point, we have sports, we have other after-school activities that students are involved in. So it's not quite as large as our elementary program, which we are still seeking grant assistance. So their cost is around, I believe, 250 a month right now, but it does change year to year. And those hours also run the same as elementary. So it runs from 3:15 to 6 o'clock as well. And the difference with the elementary and the middle is they do have more organized, they have the homework support and homework help hours, but they also have more organized programs. So they have the drama club, I believe there's a Zumba club. And again, Miss B also really designs the program based on student interest. One of the big ones that the students love getting involved is the drama club. And so they do work towards putting on a full play at the end of the school year. And they actually get to go on field trips to see plays as well. Go ahead, Edward, sorry.
What is the ratio between students from AOC Elementary and from other elementary schools?
Elementary schools?
Yes.
Maybe helpful? Okay.
Yeah.
Ms. Fabrizi, I saw you on mute. You can go ahead
Oh,
and answer.
yeah, I was thinking the question was like, how many of our students stay at AOC? Is that the
I see.
question? Like, how many of our elementary school students?
Mhm.
This year, I know most of our fifth graders did stay for sixth grade, and we did have a small percent of incoming sixth graders, but most of the sixth grade are students from elementary school, if that was the question.
If it's around class size, which maybe it's not, but I'll just speak to class size. We have a smaller student to teacher ratio than most middle schools. Middle schools generally average 32 or more in a class. We keep it a little bit lower for more intimate support.
In the music class, do they learn any instruments like piano or guitar?
Yes, piano, guitar. I know they bring back recorders. I believe there's ukuleles as well. We are looking towards adding drum pads as well. And then we are also, like I said, this year is new. We have a chorus. And then next year we are looking to expand to band, having a band as well, which would mean more instruments, a variety for students to choose from.
I have a question here. What are the Regents exams?
Ms. McCurchin?
Yeah, the Regents exams, they're mandatory still as of right now for high school students in order for them to actually graduate high school. So they need 44 credits to graduate high school along with certain Regents exams that they need to pass. So one of them is actually all of the Regents exams that we offer here are mandatory for students to actually take and pass in order to graduate high school. So it's like a state exam, but it's called Regents, if that makes sense for folks.
What kind of clubs do you have in the school?
So similar to elementary school, the students and the teachers design the clubs. Ms. Whitty or Ms. McCurchin, if you could just name a few over the last couple of years.
Yeah, we
Sure.
had crochet,
Yep.
right? We had crochet, jewelry making club. We had the art club, the Lego club. I'm missing more basketball club.
We had anime club, Japanese club. We had a student government club 1 year as well. So really based on student interest and survey, and then what teachers have that experience or are curious in leading. We had a cooking club also. So it varies year to year, but very wide range.
Okay, Edward, I think we're going to take one more question because we're almost at the hour. And then I'll explain if there's more questions, what we'll do from there.
I see a question here. Myself and few family members have gone to previous schools to do brief presentations to bring awareness. Would you be open to having some presentations done for all grade levels?
Not sure I understand the question fully. for other grades to see about the middle school?
But that's in regards to bullying.
Oh, yes, we actually, our middle school counselors right now are actually designing a few different bullying parent workshops, and also we introduced student assemblies this year. And so we call entire grades down for different assemblies, just like we did in the elementary school, except this is student-centered. And so we talk about different topics. So there would be an assembly around cyberbullying. There would be an assembly around just bullying in general, and tips and ways to notice it, report it, and also prevent it. In addition to a lot of different other types of assemblies that we're designing. So just another piece that we are taking from the elementary school and making the middle school more age-appropriate version for the benefits of students, and having the kids together and brainstorm ideas around these topics is a way to developmentally age-appropriate, make it more interesting for our older students. Okay, we are going to stop there. However, if you do have questions that were not answered, please feel free to email MS Operations or bring your questions to the tour that you sign up, because on the tour we will be answering questions as you walk through the building as well. And I really, again, I want to thank you for taking the hour today to be with us, learn more about the middle school. We prioritize you first because you're our fifth grade family, so you get the first open house, and you get first dibs at the tours as well. So please, we encourage you to sign up for a tour. Come see the school in person. We know this is a very big time in your child's life, and we're here to be a support for you in choosing the next school for your child. We do hope you choose us, but we're also here for questions and more support if you need. Again, thank you. Be on the lookout for the email. We're going to send you the slides. We're going to send you the recording so that you can access this information, and also the link to sign up for tours. Again, thanks for spending the time with us. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we hear from you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.